Good morning, guys. Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina, getting ready to show off our 39-hour catch, but we got a little bit of rocket action this morning. Believe this is probably one of those SpaceX rockets. I don't know. Didn't pay attention to it, but pretty cool little rocket trail we have here in the sunrise this morning. Absolutely beautiful way to start the morning. We'll zoom in a little bit on it. Pretty cool as these guys unload from the 39-hour adventure this morning. So a little bit of rocket action, a little bit of 39-hour fish, and a quick fishing and weather report for you too. As someone's out there on the paddleboard watching that rocket launch, that's pretty cool. They're probably out there on the paddleboard like, what in the world is happening? And with that as well, there we go. Flip this around. We got a nice stringer of mangroves there as we offload. Crazy mangrove snapper catch on this 39-hour. Definitely some big old stringers of mangroves. Look at these. Mangrove mania. We got some nice red snapper, some big mangroves. I think nope, they already cleared out this box. So the rest of these fish are going to be over in the back of the boat. So let's go check it out, see how the pile is looking. It is a little early, but we didn't want you guys to miss that cool rocket launch view, so we started a little sooner. But check this out. Nice pile of fish. And we're still working out some fish out of that main fish box. One of these 39-hour trips. A lot more than 39 hours for these two gentlemen here, the crew members. Never stop working hard. They show up typically noon, 1 o'clock for that 3 o'clock departure. And that's after they've already been here 4 hours previous to ice the boat. So about 5 to 7 hours on the front end of a trip, and easily 4 to 5 hours on the back end of a trip. Long shift. Oh, what a stringer that was. That was a meat stick. Big scamp, big mangroves, some solid gag grouper, red grouper. A lot of fish still left in the box as well. Captain Brian and the boys put a hurting on them. Some big, nice gag there. Some big vermilion. I heard from, there it goes. Sorry about that, guys. A little bit of connection problems. But as I was saying, I heard from a lot of people that this was one of the better trips as far as mangrove snapper overall size. What do you think, Will? I heard some people say this is one of the better trips they've had overall mangrove snapper size.
Yeah, this was as good as it gets on the mangrove.
Good as it gets on the mangrove snapper. Captain Brian put a hurting on them. They were out quite a bit deeper this trip, hunting after those big red snapper, getting towards a little bit later in the season, hunting around a little bit more, trying to find another biomass of red snapper for the last 2 weeks of season. And ended up working out really well hunting for those big mangroves out in deeper water. Plus the triggerfish are now open, so triggerfish season is in full swing. They opened August 1st, so we've got triggerfish in the pile. We've got some nice, look at these mangrove snapper stringers, holy moly. Just solid 4 to 6 pound fish. Really nice grade of fish coming out. Look at those big vermilions in there. You got a yellowmouth grouper? Nice.
Very cool. A couple creoles.
Who identified the yellowmouth? Will?
Yeah.
All right.
I was sleeping.
I'll believe it.
Jay was right there back in the house.
I was sleeping.
See, this is a scamp tail. You got the broom tail going on. Not the yellow edge to the mouth. That is a scamp. A yellow edge grouper looks very similar to a scamp, but it's got a straighter tail to it. Nice mangrove snapper. What was the hot bait this trip, Will?
Hot bait. Big dead baits. A lot of guys had mackerels this trip. I saw the big gag come in on a mackerel. And even some of the big mangroves they were catching with Boston mackerels this trip in the deeper water.
The tinker mackerel, Boston mackerel, definitely still a hot bait option.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what about other big dead baits that you're seeing working well?
Bonito, we used a lot of bonito this trip, was working well. But bonito, mackerel, cut fish was the deep water right now. The dead bait's doing it.
Dead bait is key.
Yes,
dead
sir.
bait is king right now. All right. We still got another couple weeks left of this red snapper season. Really doing well on some quality fish. And things are looking up for the end of red snapper season. Remember, once red snapper season ends, end of day, August 16th, we've got plenty of time to hunt after these mangroves. We would have had a lot more mangroves this trip, but during the day had to leave that mangrove snapper hot bite and go to hunt after some of those red snapper. And day bite was a little bit trickier and a lot of hunting and moving after those red snapper, but definitely caught some nice fish overall. Anything else you want to add, Will?
Just a good trip.
Good trip.
It's hot out there right now. It's August.
So stay hydrated.
Yes.
Awesome time, awesome time. Any pelagics this trip?
Campers. Not really.
No pelagics? Gotcha. Well, we appreciate it, boys. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
We're going to go back out and try it again today. Got another 39-hour trip leaving here at 3 o'clock tomorrow. So we're going to go back out tomorrow. I forget, they get one night a week at home. The rest is offshore this time of year. That rocket trail is still hanging out in the sky this morning. As it dissipates and we get ready for our 10-hour all-day trip departure, we're heading out here on our 10-hour all-day, our 5-hour half-day. We've got the Hub going out on an all-day private fishing charter. The Flying Hub 2 already left this morning on a private fishing charter. The snook bite, oh man, the snook bite was hot. I unfortunately was 2 for 3 this morning. Well, I would say I was 3 for 3 on the snook. Depends on who you talk to. Unfortunately, the biggest one I got this morning hooked up. He tried to school me, took me under the dock, took me around the pole, got him out. I was ready to land him, but instead of laying down and trying to grab him, someone came over running to try to help with a landing net. Was a little too small, a little too shallow, and as soon as the fish went into it, he shook one time and got out of it, and so did my hook. So unfortunately lost the big snook this morning. Would have made a good photo. Definitely close to 40 inches. I would say probably 38, 39. It was a big fish. Overall size around Johns Pass right now is that like 30 to 36 inch. So to see one real large, closer to 40, it stands out. And luckily got him to chew. Luckily got him right up to the surface and in reaching range. Unfortunately, just didn't get down there quick enough, and the net broke him off. But snook are thick inside Johns Pass. If I can do it, you can do it. Live shrimp was a good option this morning. 30 pound, 20 to 30 pound leaders, pretty much as heavy as you can go. If you use heavier than that, they're not going to chew. So the beginning of the outbound tide was working really well for us this morning. They were super thick, super aggressive, feeding actively, feeding on those edges of the light line is where we were seeing those snook. We also have plenty of mangrove snapper. Yesterday I was down here with my son on my day off. My daughter, my wife, we were all hanging out on the dock, catching as many mangrove snapper as you wanted to. Not a lot of size to them, but just absolute clouds of mangrove snapper. Great fun for the kids. My 3-year-old caught 4 or 5 of those mangrove snapper. It was a lot of fun. So great time to get out and fish Johns Pass, mangrove snapper on those slower tide times. When the water's moving a little bit more, hunt after those snook. We're seeing some pompano out on the beaches, still a chance for some tarpon, a lot of shark action around. Near shore, we're seeing a couple nice red grouper. We're seeing some lane snapper, vermilions. We're also seeing offshore, obviously, you saw the pile of nice mangrove snappers, some nice solid red snapper, gag grouper, scamp grouper, triggerfish now open. Great time to get out here. Remember, lighter loads on our 39-hour trip right now. We have a couple 39 hours left before red snapper season with like 30 people on them. So lighter loads, good opportunity to get out and enjoy your last chance for red snapper until June of 2023. So Don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. Also, we have a lot of events coming up. I wanted to mention to you, yesterday on my day off, I had an opportunity to chat with some of our partners and get some stuff locked in for the upcoming weeks. August 16th, we've got our Real Animals Fishing Conversation at Bartow Ford. August 21st, we have our Bass Pro Shop seminar at 2 p.m. over at the Tampa Bass Pro Shops. Then coming up after that, September 13th, we're going to be right here in Johns Pass over at Krabby's on the Pass for the Old Salts Fishing Conversation. So September 13th, 7 p.m., Krabby's on the Pass. August 21st, 2 p.m. at Tampa Bass Pro Shops. Then again, August 16th at Bartow Ford with the Real Animals and Captain Brett Norris. There's going to be free food and drink at the Real Animals Bartow Ford thing from Silver Ring Cafe, free raffles, lots of great prizes, including prizes from Engel Coolers, Real Animals, and myself as well. So definitely join us over at Bartow Ford August 16th. And again, August 21st at Bass Pro, September 13th at Krabby's on the Pass. Besides that, guys, also don't forget to check out some of our later season trips. Those gag grouper are going to be open through end of day, December 31st. So you want to get out and take advantage of that gag grouper bite this year, especially around October, November, December. Going to be a good opportunity to capitalize on some of those gag grouper. Remember, next year we're going to have that shorter season. And then as far as red grouper goes, guys, we still are expecting red grouper to probably close sometime around late August, mid-September, or early October. Those are the three kind of time frames I heard mentioned as possible closure times for those red groupers. So get out there and take advantage of them before they close. And then finally, weather looking good. Great time to get out here, guys. Weather looks really, really moderate through the period. So good opportunity with light winds, light seas. This weekend might get a little bit bumpy, but not terrible. So that's pretty much the only thing we could see as kind of cautionary, maybe 3 to 4 foot offshore, 2 to 3 foot inshore. So this weekend could get a little bumpy for the Flying Hub too, but it won't slow down our Florida fishermen and those 39-hour trips. Y'all have a great day, tight lines, and don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy.